The Superspreader event that happened on February 7th, the Super Bowl, has made national attention to once again show how poorly Tampa takes care of its most vulnerable residents. What do you all think, from your standpoint as a resident of the city of Tampa and as a community organizer, what do you all think our city council could have done to prevent the Superspreader event versus what they have chosen to do, which is to react to it? Mary Liz, if you don't mind kicking that off.
I definitely think the masks should have been, the top priority. And, we also saw a lot of kind of quote unquote, some people would say a little bit of a chaos downtown. I think we saw a bit of chaos in Ybor, people like swinging on trees. And the reaction from TPD was really different than the reaction to, Black Lives Matter movement and the amount of people that showed up to the Super Bowl. I mean, imagine if we had this many people show up for Black Lives. Like, we would just have an incredible, movement, and we'd have incredible power. And I think specifically with the businesses, we've needed COVID stimulus relief. That's really what it comes down to. We've really needed a small business to be prioritized instead of large corporations. People are willing to put their life on the line just so they can, make a paycheck. People don't get paid leave. This is really common all across America, not just in Tampa. And so I think, with the three businesses that did that, I think they saw this opportunity to maximize profit, as you've said, and they kind of, put their workers and, their community on the line just so they could make that short-term economic gain. And we really should have seen, stronger mandates when it came to masks. It's sad to see that happened, and we're definitely going in the next few weeks. I'm sure we've already seen increases in cases. We're definitely going to be feeling it. And people from not just Tampa came here. Like, it was, potentially other states, maybe, people from other country we don't know. So it's just, we needed to take better precautions, and we didn't.
It really amazed me how many people actually came to the Super Bowl. I remember seeing the amount of people that was actually allowed to go to the stadium. I believe it was like 20,000 people. And then they're like, oh yeah, but 7,500 is medical professionals that have been vaccinated. It's like, okay, so to reward medical professionals for their almost a year of dealing with COVID, you're going to put them in a stadium with people that may or may not have COVID. There's definitely people not wearing masks. And then the duality between people and how they reacted after Tampa Bay won versus when we're protesting in the streets for Black Lives Matter. None of that would have been allowed. But I mean, that's expected, right? We hear all the time how people riot or destruct property after games. We've seen that after the hockey team won. They're down in Sparkle Wharf, destructing property or whatever. So this is not something new. And then I agree that there definitely could have been more measures to be proactive. I personally feel like that the Super Bowl being in Tampa was definitely a great thing in terms of getting attention to the city, whatever that looks like, money to the city. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of the funds that were raised that weekend weren't going to be given back to the community where it's really needed. So something that I think that should have been proposed is blocking city streets to not allow, like, if you're gonna have officers, at least to make them be useful. So block the city streets, allow a certain minimum or maximum people in the city streets. I have friends that went to Ybor and were saying how like they had to leave Ybor because it was like there was no walking room. You're literally brushing shoulders with people. And this is still within a global pandemic, right? Many the residents of Hillsborough County haven't even gotten vaccines yet. Even if a vaccine, that does not mean you're immune, right? You can still get COVID even though you have a vaccine. The vaccine is only limiting how bad or how severe COVID is or affects your body. And that's also a misconception. People think that because you're vaccinated, you're just immune. That's not the case.
For me, the celebration, the aftermath of the Super Bowl was where it was like most apparent that all care went out the window for the city of Tampa. Like, there was an exception made by everyone, basically. It was like, we're just going to party. We won. That's it. So, like, I think what's very strange is, like, I believe the mayor even had an executive order for masks to kind of just be a mandatory thing, and that just went straight out the window, even with the mayor just like partaking in the celebration herself, kind of just like turning a blind eye to things. There's no real consistency when it comes to like bringing down the hammer and like laying down the law, as they would say. I think the city already just wrote it off. It was like this was just going to be a celebration and they could give a damn about a mask.
I think those are such pertinent points with everything we have going on.